When you talk about modern rock royalty, you're talking about Taylor Hawkins. He was an absolute beast behind the kit, a guy with a golden retriever energy and a true rock and roll lifer who spent 25 years as the beating heart of the Foo Fighters. But growing up in Laguna Beach, California, hard rock wasn't exactly the vibe at the Hawkins house.
Hard rock was not really cool at my house, so I had to hide my hard rock records.
He wasn't a child prodigy, and honestly, his first instinct wasn't even to sit in the back behind the drums.
No, I wanted to play guitar, and I wanted to be a singer, and I wanted to be up front because that looked way better.
But destiny stepped in when he was 10 years old. An older neighbor had a beat-up drum kit and showed him a basic rock beat.
Summer 1982, he was a couple years older than me, but he had this drum set. He said, just sit on the drums. Just try it. I'm gonna show you a beat. That day, there was like a lightning bolt shot into me, and it was like, no! And I'm like, I'm a drummer. That's what I'm going to do.
From that day on, he was hooked. He pieced together whatever gear he could find to chase that feeling.
I really literally bought cymbals out of Sears.
He wanted to emulate the flashy, hard-hitting, musical drummers of the 70s and 80s, the guys who did more than just keep time.
The two guys that shaped a lot of what I do when I play drums in a rock band is Roger Taylor and Stuart Copeland.
His first real taste of the big leagues was backing Canadian rock singer Sass Jordan.
So the first proper pro gig, if you will, actually someone handed me a paycheck besides a few weddings and a few beer parties and stuff.
That gig put him on the map, leading him to another Canadian singer who was putting a band together for a record that was about to completely take over the world.
Her name is Alanis Morissette. I'll introduce you to her. So I met her, and she was quiet and sweet and stuff. And then next thing, a couple months later, he's like, hey, we're auditioning drummers. So I auditioned, I got the tape, and the first song that was on the tape was You Oughta Know.
Taylor became the pounding visual force behind Alanis on her massive tour. But out on the festival circuit, he crossed paths with a new band fronted by the former drummer of Nirvana.
Just fell in love with that record. And then I met Dave at some radio show somewhere in LA for the first time. And he was really nice to me. And I was like, wow, he was nice to me. I'm not cool, he was nice to me.
Alanis could see the writing on the wall. She knew the chemistry Taylor and Dave had immediately.
After doing a couple shows with the Foo Fighters, and she said, what are you going to do when Dave Grohl asks you to join the Foo Fighters? She literally said that. And I went, well, that's never going to happen.
But it did happen. When the Foo Fighters' first drummer couldn't handle the pressure, Taylor didn't wait around for a formal invitation.
He couldn't handle it, so I stepped in, and I called Dave myself, and I said, I'm your drummer, sorry.
Stepping into the Foos wasn't a walk in the park, though. You're suddenly playing for one of the greatest drummers in rock history. The expectations were massive.
If you're going to play drums on a record for Dave Grohl, it's got to be really top shelf. He's such a great drummer, he could obviously do it himself, so I have to sit in there with the headphones and make Dave happy, which is hard.
Despite his raw talent, the studio could be intimidating. He had to learn how to measure up to Dave's legendary standard, battling serious imposter syndrome along the way.
Whenever the recording lights are on, you kind of freeze up, and I was doing that. And he kind of held my hand through half of that record, and he did the other half.
I go through a process, sort of a self-loathing, I suck process when I'm recording drums. I tend to think that I'm the worst drummer in the world.
The sudden fame and rock star lifestyle hit hard. Taylor got caught up in the dark side of the industry early on, suffering a near-fatal overdose in London in 2001.
I didn't really know how to deal with the way you were supposed to be. And I thought that to be a rock and roller, you have to be the fucking Keith Richards. You have to be the dark, partying, the real deal.
He survived it, got clean, and forged an unbreakable bond with his frontman. They weren't just bandmates, they were soulmates crafting stadium anthems together.
And even more than a best friend, he's like a brother. He really is.
I'd be managing the drum department at a Guitar Center if it wasn't for Dave Grohl.
And Dave felt the exact same way about his drummer.
I will never throw Taylor out of this band.
Save that tape.
Together, they conquered the globe for over 2 decades. Yet, Even as a rock and roll Hall of Famer playing to massive crowds night after night, Taylor never lost that pure, terrified awe of being on stage.
When I walk up on stage at one of those places, I have major butterflies. I'm scared crapless every time.
Tragically, the world lost Taylor way too soon in March of 2022. At just 50 years old, the heartbeat of the Foo Fighters was gone. But his legacy is untouchable. He left behind a lifetime of thunderous grooves, endless smiles, and proof that the kid playing drums in the garage really can make it to the very top.
Everybody in the world wants to be you. You know, wants to be a rock star, making millions of dollars, which is insane. And I'm lucky enough to say I got that job.